Practice sessions are vital for the continuing development of the car, but if you need to, you can choose to simulate the session instead. It won't be as effective as having you behind the wheel directly, but it's better than missing the session entirely.
Hey guys, and welcome to another video, and welcome to episode 3 now of my F1 2019 career mode. So today we are in the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's one of my favorite tracks, this one, and we're gonna hope that we can get some decent points just like we did in last race. But first of all, we need to go to practice.
International circuit. This track boasts plenty of opportunities for overtakes, so it's up to the drivers to make use of the time to get comfortable with the track conditions. That's if they want to capitalise on those opportunities later. Now then, Anthony Davidson, there's been a lot of talk over the last few weeks about track limits. How much is too much when you're cutting corners and running wide? What are your thoughts on this? And do you think we'll be seeing drivers pushing those limits this weekend?
Well, I'd be disappointed if we didn't, frankly. If race control want to clamp down on drivers wandering off the track, then it's up to them to police it. As a driver, you're being paid to get your car around the circuit as quickly as possible, don't forget. So if you're not pushing those limits, if you're ignoring the advantageous line, then you're not doing your job properly. Now, I agree that, we have these white lines there for a reason, and we do want to see those limits enforced, but for me, it's not a driver's responsibility to do that.
So, practice is done, and this is how we did in all of them. We got 330 out of the 335 available research points we could have got. Still happy with that one. I think
fourth in the speed trap, 327.1 kilometers per
we
hour.
might have messed up a little bit in the qualifying pace. To be honest, that's the only one I didn't do
And with all
purple.
the cars now over the line, let's see our top three again. Gasly, Anderson and Charles
But we
Leclerc.
finished the practice session
And
there.
if today's practice is anything to go by,
We
we're
finished
in for an
in
exceptional weekend of
pretty
Formula
decent
One.
P2 with our teammates in P4, I believe, or P5. So, seems like a pretty good track for our car. And Gasly doing surprisingly well in first position there of practice 3.
Bahrain qualifying is nearly upon us and the drivers look as if they're all geared up to go. I expect we'll be getting underway very shortly. When it comes to getting lap time out of this circuit, it's traditionally been about maximising top speed. Do you simply remove as much downforce as possible, hang on into the corners and max out down the straights?
Top speed is a key factor for this circuit. Even if you can achieve the same lap time as someone running less wing than you, chances are you'll find overtaking difficult if you have too much drag.
Alright, get ready to jump out if you get too hot in there. There's a problem with the cooling system, and it's going to take us a few minutes to correct it.
So as you saw there, we started off the qualifying session with a bit of bad news. We spent 6 minutes inside waiting for them to fix the car because of some cooling units. But this is our first lap of Q1 and we made a pretty good lap and finished the session in P5. And this is Q2 now, we skilled all the way and we finished that in P8 on soft tires. But then we made another lap on the soft tires. And we went through because the mediums were too slow. But this is now Q3. Unfortunately, I lost the clip where I made my first Q3 lap. But this is my last Q3 run. As we now go to the last corner, we're going to improve by a little bit, but hopefully that will gain us a position maybe on Gasly, put us in P8, and we're going to finish the session there.
We're very happy with that position. Well done.
P7, that's pretty damn good. So we're going to start the Bahrain Grand Prix
We're all ready for
in a
tomorrow's
pretty
race,
damn
but
good
before we
P7,
begin,
just in
let's
front of
have a
our
quick
teammate,
look
which is
at those
great.
who will be fronting the grid. Vettel, Leclerc and Valtteri Bottas. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. It's been a great qualifying session for you. Are you going to carry that momentum into the race? Are you hoping to have your reliability issues sorted out before qualifying? Appreciate your time.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
What do you think of this one?
The curtain rises once more then on the desert stage of Sakir as the players take their places for the opening act. Will they enthrall us like they did in 2014 with that titanic battle between Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton? Well, we'll find out shortly as we get underway here in Bahrain. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Bahrain has showed us many times in the past though, Anthony Davidson, that a good strategy will only take you so far. Beyond that, you need good racecraft and you need good consistency.
And a little bit of luck too, I'd say. This is one of those circuits where the safety car always seems to come out just at the right time to condense the field together and mix up the cars on different strategies. It's hard on brakes, it's tough on fuel, and the main overtaking opportunity is down into turn 1, where it's easy to outbrake your opponent and potentially have a bit of argy-bargy as well.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Devon Butler, Anderson, Perez, Gasly, Grosjean and Nico Hülkenberg, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Lando Norris and Faber. Raikkonen, Russell, Daniel Kvyat and Antonio Giovinazzi. Albon and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So here we are for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Unfortunately, I've got some explaining to do. So, as you can see, the race starts from lap 7. This is because I lost all the recording from lap 1 to now. So this is just after we made our pit stop. So we were sitting comfortably in like P6, something like that. And now we pitted, and now we're right behind Perez, who we almost touched. They're going down his inside. And now we've changed onto the medium tires, which will probably go, but we will go to the end of the race. And Perez has done the same. We decided to go into pit pretty late, I believe. Our team wanted us to come in on lap 5. We decided to come in on lap 6, I'm pretty sure. And now we have Butler right behind us, Perez in front of us, and we're gonna still try and fight him off to gain that now, which is P8. So more cars are coming to pits. We're gonna gain more positions, and now we have DRS. We are still in medium DRS. We're gonna try and get him with the slipstream around his outside, maybe to turn 1. Try not make contact with our teammate, and we have done it. What a move that was! I'm pretty happy with that one. As we get DRS once again because we are behind him in the DRS activation zone. And now we skip on to lap 11, which we now are in P5, which is incredible. And Perez now once again gets a move on us. He got DRS. We're gonna try and make the same move around his outside. Try and not make contact once again. We're still side by side. It's a great battle with our teammate. This time we get DRS. We're gonna try and brake as late as we can. We get a warning for colliding with him, but we are basically safely fighting each other. But we get the move once again.
Our gap to the car in front
is
5.9 seconds.
There's now about 2 laps remaining. As now, that's Charles Leclerc, who was started in the bottom, and now he's already up to P6 as he passes our teammate there, Sergio Perez. And as we now go into the last lap of the race, can we hold on to this P5 position? That is the big question.
At the moment, the car behind us is lapping faster than us by around 1 second.
So Leclerc, as you can see, he's 1 second quicker than us. He is, well, he is in a Ferrari, which is for some reason the fastest car in the game, which is unironically not in real life. Clearly Mercedes are much quicker, at least in the corners, but Yeah, Leclerc is all around our back. Gonna try and hold him up. We're going quite slowly. Our tires are getting worn. And he's probably gonna get DRS. And we are in overtake mode. We don't have too much ERS left in our car. We're gonna try and hold him up as much as we can. In these last couple of corners, we almost lost the car there with that infamous curve. We're literally running as quick as we can right now. Sebastian Vettel wins the race. I believe Hamilton is in second, and Leclerc now is going to get in front of us into the penultimate, actually the final corner. And there's a bit of contact. We break a bit of our front wing on his rear left, but unfortunately we're going to lose a place. But P6 is still a pretty good result.
Take care of the car on the way in.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Despite the best efforts of our championship leader, that lead has taken a bit of a knock today. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Well, my driver of the day has to be Charles Leclerc. He was unstoppable out on the track today, weaving through the competition with ease.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Racing Point this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. Some excellent overtaking moves from your former teammate today. Did he learn some of them from you? You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret? That was a close finish. How are things between the two of you? You had a bit of contact today. Who was at fault there? Great. Well, that's everything.
So that was the Bahrain Grand Prix. I really enjoyed that one. P6 in the end and our teammate in P7. That's great points for our team and we are now the best of the rest in terms of the team's championship. I'm not sure where I am in the championship. I'm pretty sure I'm best of the rest. Not sure though, because there's also Butler, who's doing pretty damn well in that Haas of his, and we also get some extra R&D points for finishing our
That's a great result. You did really well. I don't think we can have any complaints with our performance.
finishing in front of P8, and that's where the team wanted us to
Here
finish.
you can see a list of eligible drivers to declare as your rival. The
And
more
this is the
challenging
rival
they are to
section,
beat, the more the paddock will respect you for
and we're gonna
succeeding.
choose a rival,
Just be
and
aware,
in the end we're gonna
you'll lose the same amount of respect
choose
if you come off
Daniel
second best.
Ricciardo,
So it may be
which I
wise not
thought
to be
is a pretty
overly
good choice.
cautious.
He is a pretty decent driver, and for some reason he's considered less than Hulkenberg, which is pretty surprising. I personally rate Ricardo higher than Hulkenberg, but as we
I
now
recommend
make
we
our
go for
last
something like
upgrade of the
this.
weekend, which should bring us up to best of the rest in terms of performance, which puts us right behind Red Bull in terms of performance on total of the cars, you can see. But yeah guys, if you did enjoy this video, leave a like on the video. Next race is going to be China, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.